Speaking of food, which Stephen always is, here's a song about food.
I'm going down to Austin, Texas. I'm going down to save my soul. Get that barbecue and chili, eat my fill and come back home. I'm gonna take my baby with me. We're gonna have a high old time. We're gonna eat till we get silly. Sure do make a beer taste fine. Oh, mama, ain't that Texas cooking something? Oh, mama, stop your belly and backbone bumping. Oh, mama, ain't that Texas cooking good? Oh, mama, eat every day if I could. Well, I know a man that cooks armadillo, tastes so sweet he calls it pie. I know a woman makes pan dulce, tastes so good it gets you high. Get them enchiladas greasy, get them steaks chicken fried. Sure do make a man feel happy to see white gravy on the side. Oh, mama, ain't that Texas cooking something? Oh, mama, stop your belly and backbone bumping. Oh, mama, ain't that Texas cooking good? Oh, mama, eat it every day if I could.
Well, I know a place that's got fried okra, beat anything I ever saw. I know a man cook cabrito, it must be against the law. We gonna get a big old sausage, big old plate of ranch-style beans. I could eat the heart of Texas, we gonna need some brand new jeans.
Oh, mama, ain't that Texas cooking something? Oh, mama, stop your belly and backbone bumping. Oh, mama, ain't that Texas cooking good? Oh, mama, eat it every day if I could. Oh, mama, ain't that Texas cooking something? Oh, mama, stop your belly and backbone bumping. Oh, mama, ain't that Texas cooking good? Oh, mama, eat it every day if I could. Oh, mama, ain't that Texas cooking something? Oh, mama, stop your belly and backbone bumping. Oh, mama, ain't that Texas cooking good? Oh, mama, eat it every day if I could.
That's a song called Texas Cooking from an album called This One's For Him, a tribute to Guy Clark, which I finally got from Mr. McLean. Good morning, everyone. Gerald Michael Anderson here. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme. And remember, your calls are important to us. It's 08459 555 678. Email address is gerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. And the text messaging service. I am laughing because Mr. McLean's wife is here. A text messaging service is 81771. Sympathetic comments coming in about Geordie's recent accident. Please play Home on the Range for Mr. Geordie Tuft, who's recovering in the Royal Hospital from derriere scorching. Old Geordie is in a stable condition. His catheter is gurgling merrily away and his bowels firing in all cylinders. Speaking of the accident, Mr. Tuft said, I went up like a wind bush. It was a roaring inferno. The heat was unbearable. Hard sweets in my pocket exploded. I remember thinking, There go my brandy bowls. I would advise everyone to be careful. From now on, I'll be slipping a rubber hot water bottle down the back of my drawers, and I advise the people of good Ulster to do the same to avoid this unfortunate phenomenon. Thank you for that medical advice. Miss Paula Flynn is here. Good morning, Miss Paula Flynn.
Lovely introduction.
You don't know what to say to that.
No.
Miss Paula Flynn from Forkell.
It's great to be back to see you. And
Good to see
talk to
you. You first came to our attention. You made a record called Let's Dance, which was a cover of David Bowie's, which became very, very popular indeed.
Yeah, it's a while ago. It's nearly 5 years ago. Would you
I
believe?
know, but I'm saying that's how you first
I'm
came
just
to
telling you,
it.
but time flies.
She's just so argumentative.
I know.
Time
just looking
does
for
fly.
a fight.
You've been doing all kinds of stuff since. Tell me what you've been doing recently. Are you based here, or are you in England, or where are you?
No, I'm in Forkhill.
Well,
You
see,
thought I was going to say
if I
LA
wanted
or
to be
somewhere.
famous, I wouldn't start from Forkhill.
Would you not?
No, I wouldn't.
Why not? What's wrong with it?
I know. There's nothing wrong with Forkhill, but if you're going to be famous, it's hard to be famous if you start from Forkhill.
I know, but you can use it as your base.
As a springboard.
Yeah.
That's all right. And do you appear all around the country, do you, at various selected venues?
We're in Sligo tonight.
Are you?
Yeah, and then we're in the Black Box this Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m.
Oh, Sunday afternoon. Oh, that'll be good.
Are you going to come?
No. No, purely because I won't be in the country. Okay. I've explained this to Mr. Coyle. He doesn't believe me that I won't be in the country. And I said to him, I won't be in the country because I will be south of the border. Therefore, there are political considerations. And he says, no, you haven't left the country because you'll be down south. And I said, well, some people say that I would be leaving the country if I left the north. So I'll be down across the border. So technically, I will be in the country, but not.
No comment.
Which is
and
why,
then that night...
which is why I will not be in the Black Box. Black Box, 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, and then that night we're in Newry.
Whereabouts in Newry?
City of Newry. Amplified, it's called. It's a nice venue.
Is that a new one?
Yeah.
Where is it? Do you know?
Greg?
Greg, sorry, I should have introduced Greg. Is playing some nice guitar with Paula. Where's Amplified, Greg?
It's on Water Street in Newry.
Is that near the town hall? That's the only thing I know.
Actually, it's not too
It's
far.
not too far. You could walk.
We could walk.
Could I?
You could walk
Walk
anywhere. in
anywhere in
Newry.
Newry, like, but
I could walk nearly anywhere. And you'll be there on Sunday night?
yeah.
And you're in the Black Box on Sunday afternoon. So that's part of the festival, is it? Sunday afternoon?
Yeah,
Some
it's
festival?
Taylor and Quarter Arts in
Good.
Belfast.
Well, can you get a wee drink there on Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock, I wonder? I hope they don't open the bar because it's a Sabbath. You know?
Well, I have no idea, but you don't need drink.
I don't be asking you. I shouldn't be asking you these. You don't need drink to enjoy yourself. I've
No, I don't
always
think so.
said
I
that.
prefer to have a listening crowd anyway,
Indeed, yes.
than a drunk crowd.
But sometimes when you get in the afternoon, you need a wee kind of stiffener. to
Well, you
kind
can
of
have one
relax
before you come if you want.
Yeah, well, at 2 o'clock, maybe not. That's the act of an alcoholic. Now, tell me, have you any new albums out? Have you any new singles out?
I'm recording an EP at the minute. And
Are
it's
you?
a country gospel EP.
Country gospel.
Your eyes lit up there. I don't know if that's good or bad.
It's not one of those inspirational albums, is it?
No, there's no panpipes.
Good. Are you going to do a little track from it?
We're good. Do you want to do that in second? We might do a little cover for you first
Do whatever you want.
because we have two guitars here, and this is the one for this one. And this is Hank Williams' song, and it's called "My Bucket's Got a Hole in It."
Have you recorded this? Are you going to record it?
We may do, but we get no royalties.
Don't be
though.
giving anything away.
Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. I can't buy no beer. I'm standing on a corner with a bucket in my hand. I'm waiting for a man that ain't got no woman. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. I can't buy no beer. I went up upon the mountain. I looked down at the sea. I saw the crabs and the fishes doing the bebop bee. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. I can't buy no beer. There ain't no use in me working so hard when I've got a man in the boss man's yard. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. I can't buy no beer. With me and my baby bought a brand new Ford, and we sit together on the running board. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. I can't buy no beer. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. I can't buy no beer. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. I can't buy no beer. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. I can't buy no beer.
That's really nice. That's really nice, that.
you.
Who wrote that song?
Hank Williams.
Did he really? I didn't know that. Yeah, it's one of those songs you kind of know, and but you don't know who wrote it.
Yeah.
You've got a very distinctive voice. I mean, I've always said this, and it's great. I mean, but what kind of music do you prefer singing yourself? Do you like country?
I do love country.
Yeah, you do, of course.
Yeah.
But you don't just stick yourself to you don't stick to country in particular,
No.
do you?
We write more like folky country. We're trying to get into the more country.
I
But,
think you should, yeah, because your voice really lends itself to
yeah.
it.
I really love country music. Like I love Hank Williams and Hank Snow and the Louvin brothers and
Yeah.
the Stanley brothers, all that.
Yeah.
I love
Do you have a
bluegrass.
website, Paula?
I do.
What is it?
www.misspaulaflynn.com.
Miss Paula Flynn. Why do you always insist on calling yourself Miss Paula Flynn?
I don't insist.
Yes, you do.
I don't. It's like a stage name. You know what I mean? I can.
I know.
When I'm off stage, I'm Paula, but when I'm on stage, I'm Miss. And it kind of happened as an accident. It wasn't that I think I'm more important than anyone else. Whenever I was setting up the website and getting a Facebook and all that crack, way back in the day, there was no Facebook, but when Let's Dance came out, I was getting a MySpace or Bebo back then, and there was no Paula Flynn, there was just Miss Paula Flynn I could get as a name, so that's really where it came from. So
That was a huge thing for you. I keep going back to that Last Dance, but I mean, that must have
that
been
was great. It was
must have
nice.
been a real surprise for you.
Oh yeah,
It became
definitely.
really incredibly popular.
Just one day.
And,
Just nothing,
and
and then
brought you out
that.
of Fort Hill, now you're back in.
Yes, it did. It blew me right out of Fork Hill and then back there. But it is a base. It's good and it's.
Now, you love
I
Fort
like
Hill. As a matter of fact, you've written songs about Fort Hill.
I have, yeah, Little Miss Fork Hill, because it's a little competition. It's a beauty contest when you're a kid. It was a big deal to win Little Miss Fork Hill. Now, half my friends and half the village won it as well, but I wanted to. I think we all got a turn. But
You should have a reunion of all the Little
89.
Miss Fort Hills.
Yeah, it'd be good, wouldn't it? A festival.
No, but it's great. I mean, these small towns like that, village basically,
Yeah,
it's,
it is a
it's
village.
beautiful to be brought up somewhere like that. And you obviously have a love for it.
I do have a love for it, but like I do get itchy feet, and I'd love
I know.
to.
You have to get out.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to go to town.
Oh yeah.
Do you do a lot of gigs?
We have been starting to do more and more now lately. I had a baby there 15 months ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did.
A boy or a girl?
A wee boy called Woody.
Woody?
Yeah.
Woody Flynn?
Yeah.
What a great name. Excellent. Oh, that's great. I didn't know that. That's why you've been quite kind of quiet.
Exactly.
You've been busy having babies.
Yeah, baby.
Well, so you don't have an album out at the moment to flog, as they say,
I
but
know.
you're recording stuff.
Yeah, I am recording, and we're going to make this country gospel EP just because we wrote a batch of country stuff,
Okay.
or country gospel songs, and
Yeah.
we want to get it out of the way and not confuse things, and then have more of a country folk album come afterwards. A bit
right then.
confusing, but
Well.
we know what we're talking about. I think.
I know. Well, will you come in again when your album is out?
I'd love to. Because when I
because
came in this morning, Gerry was like, "So you have an album?" I was like, "No." He looked at me as if to say, "Well, what are you doing here?"
Why are you here?
I came to visit you.
People, when they do, yes, indeed.
It's too long.
Yes, it's been too long since you've insulted me.
I've never insulted you.
You used to insult me
I only
before.
ever speak highly of
No,
you.
it's all right. I like you because you're feisty.
Am I?
You're feisty.
Thanks.
Well, listen, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
And maybe you'll come in again when you have your album out. Please do. And are you going to do another wee one for us?
Yeah, this is called Beautiful Palace.
Miss Paula Flynn.
No panpipes.
No panpipes.
There's a mountain so high, and on the other side lies a beautiful valley of gold. And I pray that at my time I find wonder sublime in the place where we never grow old. I'll take that long track from the bottom of my road to the beautiful valley of gold. And I hope in my heart I find peace as I go and make friends that I'll keep in my soul. If the mountain gets too much and I feel like giving up, I'll just dream of that valley of gold. And if I fall on my way, I say a prayer every day. I reach the place where we never grow old. There's a mountain so high, and on the other side lies a beautiful valley of gold. And it's there that I'll wait for those that I've loved in the place where we never grow old. In that beautiful valley of gold. That beautiful palace of gold.
I was passing by a pawn shop in an older part of town when something caught my eye, and I stopped and turned around. I stepped inside, and there I spied in the middle of it all was a beat-up old guitar hanging on the wall. "What do you want for that piece of junk?" I asked the old man. He just smiled and took it down and put it in my hand. I said, "You tell me what it's worth. You're the one who wants it. Tune it up, play a song, let's just see what haunts it." So I hit a couple of chords in my old country way of strumming, and then my fingers turned to lightning. Man, I never heard it coming. It was like I always knew it, but I don't know where I learned it. It wasn't nothing but the truth, so I just reared back and burned it. lost all track of time. There wasn't nothing I couldn't pick. Up and down the neck, man, I never missed a lick. The guitar almost played itself, and there was nothing I could do. It's getting hard to tell who was playing who. When I finally put it down, I couldn't catch my breath. My hands were shaking, and I was scared to death. The old man finally got up and said, "Where in the hell you been? I've been waiting all these years for you to stumble in." Then he took down old dusty case and said, "Go on, pack it up. You don't know me nothing." And then he said, "Good luck." There was something spooky in his voice, something strange on his face. And when he shut the lid, I saw my name was on the case.
That's another song by Guy Clark, from Guy Clark. That's all the music that's not live today will be coming from the one album, which is called This One's For Him, a tribute to Guy Clark. Various artists recorded songs. That's brilliant. That's called The Guitar, and that's by Rambling Jack Elliott, who sings that. The album is called This One's For Him, a tribute to Guy Clark. And all the live music today will be from, all the music that's not live today will be from that one album. A gentleman writes to me, my brother-in-law, Terence McCracken, is in the burns unit at the Royal Victoria Hospital and recovering from a horrible flesh illness. It doesn't say what that is, but he says flesh eating, I think is a word left out. I don't know what that is. Eating, that's what it is. A horrible flesh eating illness. Dear, it sounds horrible. And he's in a room very near to Geordie. I've been popping in to see Geordie most days when I go to see Terence, and he has loved meeting my sister Brenda and the kids too. Geordie, of course, that is. Geordie is the most charming and charismatic gentleman. Do you think you've got the right bed? And obviously extremely intelligent. Well, he's not stupid. He is delighted to have people pop in to see him and is keeping everyone charmed, visitors and staff alike. And now that he's got his hair cut and indeed is cleaned up, he may have a movie career. Recovery in hospital can be very lonely and boring, and I'm sure Geordie would benefit from cards and letters from his fans and anyone who would like to wish him well. Do you think you could encourage your lovely listeners to write to Geordie? Well, that's a good idea. He's in the burns unit. Ward 2E, RVH, Grosvenor Road, BT12 6BA. Hello, it's Geordie. If you want to write to Geordie, he's in the burns unit, Ward 2E, Grosvenor Road, BT126BA. He is listening religiously. Well, that's not the word we apply to Geordie as a matter of course. He is listening religiously to you and Sean every day. Is this helping with his recovery? Yes, that's not Geordie, of course, that's Terence. Well, Terence, the best of luck to you. And Geordie, you know, he's quite a hit in this hospital. I feel kind of guilty for not going to see him, but you know, I don't want to. Hi, Krill and Heartless. Here's another song. Or is this the right one? Let me see.
Well, my father had a Randall knife. My mother gave it to him when he went off to World War II to save us all from ruin. Now, if you've ever held a Randall knife, then you know my father well. If a better blade was ever made, it was probably forged in hell.
This is called The Randall Knife. I played this by mistake. It's a story song. It's about 4 minutes long. We've only got 3 minutes on, so I must apologise. You won't hear the end of this. I'll play it again some other time.
Ever see him misuse the blade? Well, it almost took his thumb off when he took it for a tool. The knife was made for darker things, and you could not bend the rules. He let me take it camping once on a Boy Scout jamboree, and I broke a half an inch off trying to stick it in a tree. Oh, I hid it from him for a while, but the knife and he were one. And he put it in his bottom drawer without a hard word one. And there it slept, there it stayed for 20-some-odd years. Sort of like Excalibur, except waiting for a tear. My father died when I was 40, and I couldn't find a way to cry. Not because I didn't love him, not because he didn't try. Oh, I've cried for every lesser thing, whiskey, pain, and beauty. And he deserved a better tear, and I was not quite ready. We took his ashes out to sea and poured them off the stern, and threw the roses in the wake of everything we'd learned. And when we got back to the house, they asked me what I wanted. Not the law books, not the watch. I need the thing he's haunted.
On 92 to 95 FM
and 1341 medium wave.
This is BBC Radio Ulster.
BBC News at 11 o'clock with Sabrina Sweeney. The former chief executive of News International, Rebecca Brooks, has confirmed she received an indirect message of support from David Cameron urging her to keep her head up after she resigned following the phone hacking scandal. Mrs Brooks, who also used to edit The Sun and The News of the World, has been giving evidence to the Leveson inquiry on press standards. She was asked by the barrister Robert J. QC about a second message from the Prime Minister.
Did you also receive a message from him via an intermediary along these lines? Sorry, I could not have been as loyal to you as I have been, but Ed Miliband had me on the run, or words to that effect.
It's similar, but again, very indirectly.
So broadly speaking, that message was transmitted to you, was it?
Yes.
A 26-year-old man is due to appear in Coleraine Magistrates Court, charged with the manslaughter of Owen McKeown in Kilrea. The 21-year-old drowned in the River Bann on Saturday. The accused also faces charges of possessing Class C drugs. Police in Lancashire have warned that a missing prisoner could be on the run in Northern Ireland. 30-year-old Patrick Joyce, formerly of James Street, Morecambe, has been wanted since March. He was jailed for 6 years in 2008 for his part in a robbery. Joyce was released on extended licence but has breached the terms of his release. He has connections to Northern Ireland and speaks with an Irish accent. The tour operator Thomas Cook has reported a half-year loss of £262 million. The company has boosted its finances by raising nearly £200 million by selling and leasing back 17 planes. It says it expects trading conditions to be challenging this year. Well, it's time now to get the latest sport with Denise Watson.
Neither Rory McIlroy nor Graham McDowell are well placed after their opening rounds at the Players' Championship in Sawgrass. McIlroy lies 7 shots off the joint leaders Ian Poulter and Martin Laird after a level par 72 in his opening round. McDowell is 9 shots adrift. But Pádraig Harrington carded a 3 under 69 and lies 4 shots off the lead. UEFA has confirmed that if Chelsea win the Champions League, then all 4 English teams will go automatically into the group stages. It had been thought that the team finishing third would need to qualify for the group stages. Manchester United and England player Chris Smalling will miss the Euro 2012 Championships. The defender has a groin injury. And it's the final of the Setanta Cup tomorrow. Derry City and Crusaders are contesting the trophy, and the match is live on BBC Radio Ulster's Sports Sound programme.
Now to the weather forecast with Angie Phillips.
Still some lively showers at first, especially across central and southern parts, and a few of those could be locally heavy with a slight risk of hail and thunder. They'll start to clear away for the afternoon, so becoming drier and brighter for the second half of the day, with more in the way of sunshine, which will lift highs to 12 or 13 Celsius inland. The north coast still a bit fresher with the onshore northwesterly breeze.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news.
In County Tyrone, emergency work is being carried out on Fish Ponds Bridge at Tamnamore. As a result, the Drumaspill Road has been closed, and this closure is expected to remain in place until 4 p.m. on Monday. On to flights at Belfast International Airport. The Aer Lingus flight from Heathrow is now due at 11:10. EasyJet's flight from Faro is expected at 2:10, and there's currently a 1-hour delay to the flight from Amsterdam. It's now estimated to arrive at 2:20. Anne Jordan reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
Thank you, Anne. Welcome back. Wendy Austin's here. What have you got in the programme today?
Well, I'm wondering if there's anyone out there who has a loved one or a friend or relative in Owenvale Court Care Home.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that's been in the news this week. It's run by the St John of God Association, has been up to now. They run several others as well. So if you have a loved one in any of those, give us a call and talk back today. St John of God will be on the programme live answering questions about the situation there. And that's the first time we'll have heard from them, so that'll be on Talkback after 12. Okay. Also today, the cafe culture, it's a lovely idea, isn't it? Except when it's freezing like it is at the moment. That business of sitting outside on the pavement and so on, and we hear that at long last they're going to make it legal. I mean, we've been doing it for years anyway. But we're also asking, is this just an excuse for the councils maybe to charge cafes and restaurants more?
Of course it is,
yeah. You do wonder, don't you, for what they're already doing?
This country was never made for that. No matter how sunny it is, you're never quite comfortable.
No,
it's
you need a
always
coat.
Just slightly cold.
It is.
Always.
Wee bit of a nip, there is indeed. Are you a good car parker?
You mean a person that gets the car slid in properly?
Yeah, like a person who gets in between the two two lines where you're supposed to be, rather than... Are you one of those special people who think that you can take up 2 spaces?
Those people over in the car park in the BBC, they're always saying to me, what's wrong with you? You're taking up 2 cars for it. What does it matter?
I'm Jose Mourinho. Well, you see, it drives people completely nuts. Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. Just how much does it make you see red when somebody parks in 2 spaces? And what was the other thing? Oh, yeah, the Belfast buzz. How do you measure that? You know, you hear talking about the Belfast buzz. They're looking for that in Derry as well. How do you actually measure that?
You measure it if you're not from here. I notice it. Every time I come here, I notice the buzz is actually buzzier. It's incredible.
Interesting.
You don't notice it because you live here.
Well, I
But
do
you
think
actually
there's
feel
been a
it.
bit of a change, I must say.
Oh, you can feel it. You can feel it in the street, and it's almost as if people are enjoying themselves for the
Good
first
grief,
time
we
in their
can't have
lives.
that.
No, really, because after the troubles, people are enjoying life, and this will go away in about 5 or 6 years' time, and it'll become like Dublin. Everybody's miserable. But I say enjoy it now while we can.
I agree with you.
And
Go
the thing
for it.
about here
Live
is
for the now.
you go into the bars and the restaurants, it's all local people serving, they're all full of crack. So that'll go away in about 5 or 10 years' time.
Well, that's very interesting because it's quite close to what at least one of the people I'm going to talk to is saying about it too. So that's all to come.
I've
You been-
preempted your
fancy
interview.
coming down and joining us? No.
No, I'll be drinking outside in a cafe.
Enjoying the Belfast bus, parked in 2 spaces.
The old gunfight on the porch, stared into the sun, and relived the days of living by the gun, when deadly games of pride were played, and living was mistakes not made, and the thought of the smell of the black powder smoke, and the stand in the street at the turn of a joke. Ah, the smell of the black powder smoke, and the stand in the street at the turn of a joke. And it's always keep you back to the sun. You can almost feel the weight of the gun, and it's faster than snakes or the blink of an eye, and it's a time for all slow men to die. And his eyes get squinty and his fingers twitch as he empties his gun at the son of a bitch, and he's hit by the smell of the black powder smoke, and the stand in the street at the turn of a joke. Hit by the smell of the black powder smoke, and the stand in the street at the turn of a joke. Now the burn of a bullet is only a scar, and he's back at his chair in front of the bar, and the streets are empty and the blood's all dried, and the dead are dust and the whiskey's inside. So buy him a drink, lend him an ear, 'cause he's nobody's fool and the only one here who remembers the smell of the black powder smoke, and the stand in the street at the turn of a joke. Remember the smell of the black powder smoke, and the stand in the street at the turn of a joke. He said, I stood in that street before it was paved. I learned shoot or be shot before I could shave, and I did it all for the money and fame. Noble was nothing but feeling no shame. Nothing was sacred but staying alive. And all that I learned from a Colt 45 was to curse the smell of the black powder smoke, and to stand in the street at the turn of a joke. Curse the smell of the black powder smoke, and the stand in the street at the turn of a joke. He's just an old man now, no one believes, and he says he's a gunfighter, the last of the breed, and there are ghosts in the street, and they're seeking revenge, and they're calling them out to the lunatic fringe. And now he's out in the traffic and checking the sun, and he's killed by a car as it goes for his gun. So much for the smell of the black powder smoke, and the stand in the street at the turn of a joke. So much for the smell of the black powder smoke, and the stand in the street at the turn of a joke.
Ain't nothing in the world that I like better than bacon and lettuce and homegrown tomatoes. Up in the morning, out in the garden, get you a ripen, don't get a harden. Plant 'em in the spring, eat 'em in the summer. All winter without 'em is a culinary bummer. Forget about all the sweating and the digging every time I go out and pick me a bigot. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'll life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only 2 things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. You can go out to eat and there's that's for sure. But it's nothing that a homegrown tomato won't cure. Put 'em in a salad, put 'em in a stew. You can make your very own tomato juice. Eat 'em with eggs, eat 'em with gravy. Eat 'em with beans, pinto or navy. Put 'em on the side, put 'em in the middle. Put a homegrown tomato on a hot cake griddle. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'll life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy. That's true love and homegrown tomatoes. If I should change this life I lead, I'd be Johnny Tomato Seed. 'Cause I know what this country needs is homegrown tomatoes in every yard you see. And when I die, don't bury me in a box in the cemetery. Out in the garden would be much better, and I could be pushing up homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'd life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'll life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Oh.
That's homegrown tomatoes, or as we say, tomatoes. You say tomato, I say tomato. That's Ray Wiley Hubbard. That's from that same album again. This one's for him, a tribute to Guy Clark. And then before that, we had The Last Gunfighter Ballad, also by Guy Clark. And that was sung by Steve Earle. Gentleman writes to me, texts, and he says, you're playing a lot of country music today. I thought, have you been converted? Well, I don't call that country, to be honest with you. You see, I don't like... See, you have to be very careful. What I don't like, and people have said this I've said it in this programme before, I don't like Irish country. I don't like those Irish country bands. And because that's not country. That's the music I'm playing today. I don't think that's country. I think it's folk music, American folk music, which is a different thing entirely. And the reason why I don't like Irish country bands goes back a long time, and it hasn't changed at all. Like, whenever I was playing in various bands and stuff, I used to be very interested in music, and we'd be in bands, and we'd meet people, and we'd be sitting having a drink with all the musicians, and we'd be sitting talking about money. And we'd be sitting... Sorry, I let it away. I give it away there. We were sitting talking about music. You see, we'd be sitting talking about music, but whenever we met Irish country bands, they would talk about money. And it's still the same today. Whenever you meet an Irish country band, they always talk about money. So they don't care about the music at all. They could just hoodwinking the punters. And speaking of which, not speaking of which, hi Gerry, could you give a mention about charity fundraising night this Saturday in Denver's Hotel? Oh, I love Denver's Hotel in Downpatrick. It's one of the most historic hotels in the whole world. It's to raise money for the MRI scanner for sick children at RVH, and also Marie Curie. Special guest, Downpatrick singer Matthew Campbell. Doors open at 8:30. Come along and support a worthy cause. Go up and see Geordie. You mean so-and-so. Hugo is doing an outside broadcast today from Geordie's bedside. I wouldn't put it past him. The least you can do is visit him, given that it's a 10-minute walk from the BBC. Geordie's all right. He doesn't meet me up there. Played Dublin City Blues and Desperados Waiting for a Train from that Guy Clark album. And keep her scalded till we get out. Desperados Waiting for a Train. I'll play that before the end of the programme. Also, if you thought, Superman was good, check out the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band. I know all about the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band. Sorry, I'm turning into Nolan. On BBC4 tonight, these are your text messages. At 9 p.m, there's a 4-hour documentary about Tom Petty on. You should watch it. I know you're a fan. Well, that's been on before. I've watched it before. Anybody who is interested in music should watch that. A 4-hour documentary about Tom Petty tonight at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock to 1. Get a 40-ouncer, and that's you started. Gerry, please play the rest of that song after the news. I'm sorry about that. That was a song called The Randall Knife. Now, I put it on by mistake before the news, and it's a story song, and you know, you have to hear the whole lot of it. But I only had 3 minutes left, and the song was 4 minutes long. I don't want to play the whole thing again. I'll play it again when I come back. That's all I can do. We have a boy called Andrew, says Jacqueline, and he's not very well. He's got ME. We're trying to raise money for him to go to America for treatment. The Lord Mayor in Armagh is holding a coffee morning for him tomorrow. It's in the Palace Stables in the Mayor's Chamber in Armagh. 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. Could you please read that out? It's also National ME Day tomorrow. ME is a very, very bad thing to have because people don't think there's anything wrong with you and you feel as if you're going to die. Gerry, do you have the new Kimmy Rhodes and Willie Nelson song, Love Me Like a Song? No, I don't have that. I know Kimmy Rhodes is due here whilst I'm away, and it's an awful shame I won't be able to see her in the studio. We have a group of 50 girls up from Public College of Kilkenny, and it's 2 of their birthdays. Can Gerry give them all a shout? That's Aisling Kennedy and Megan Cashel. They're doing the political tour today, the Black Taxi tours. Oh, keep away! Keep away! I just want to wish Paula Flynn all the best, since it says Cormac from Gerry. She's a cousin of mine. And Brady O'Hare would also like to say hello to Paula. I'd always be listening to her in college with her friend Neela. I always said she'd go far. There we go. Yesterday, Gerry had a guy on talking about a new musical in the waterfront, liking it to Les Mis. Does Gerry remember what it was? Of course I don't remember what it was. That was yesterday. It was something to do with the famine, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Black 47. Yes, it was called Black 47. I really want to get tickets. That's the one. Don't let Paula Flynn go without playing this Little Miss Forkhill. Too late. That girl has a great sound. I'm clapping in my tractor. I don't know what that means. 34-year-old man. Good morning, Gerry. Paula has the voice of an angel, perfect live. Yes, she's great live. That's from Colin from Lurgan. Gerry, get Mrs. McLean on the radio. She was brilliant with John Bennett. Yes, she says that was 15 years ago. Am I playing the wrong one? Of course I am.
And Hemingway drove up in this little Volkswagen, and we locked eyes, and he turned around and jumped in the car and drove off. Wow! I think I scared him. I know. Maybe he just thought I was a fan. I was going to ask him for something. Hemingway's whiskey, warm and smooth and mean. Even when it burns, it'll always finish clean. He didn't like it watered down. He took it straight up and neat. If it's bad enough for him, you know it's bad enough for me. Hemingway's whiskey. It's tough out there. A good muse is hard to find. Living one word to the next, one line at a time. Now there's more to life than whiskey, there's more to words than rhyme. Sometimes nothing works, sometimes nothing shines. Like Hemingway's whiskey. Sail away, 3 sheets to the wind. Live hard, die hard, this one's for him. Hemingway's whiskey, warm and smooth and mean. Even when it burns, it'll always finish clean. He didn't like it watered down. He took it straight up and neat. If it's bad enough for him, you know it's bad enough for me. Hemingway's whiskey.
If he's had, well, a drink too many, that's a song, another song by Guy Clark called Hemingway's Whiskey. Right, we're very lucky to have a man today. A band, I suppose. Is the band, or are you called Best Boy Grip?
Both. If I'm on my own, I'm Best Boy Grip, and if I'm with more than me, we are Best Boy Grip.
I kind of sense that may not have been your real name.
The first time I told you that, you asked me if I was a rapper. Do you remember that?
That's right, yes. I do.
When I had my son in with me that day on Radio Foil.
That's right. And I had no idea who you were. But your name, you're actually Owen O'Callaghan.
Owen O'Callaghan, yep.
Yeah, and you're... I keep saying to people about this kind of new wave of singer-songwriters, and I think you're the best.
Thanks
to
very
be honest.
Much. Thank you.
There's a real kind of harvest of talent, particularly in the Northwest.
There
and
is.
for some strange reason, I don't know what it is. But here as well, Belfast as well, but particularly in the Northwest. I think it's because we have nothing else to do.
Possibly. It is really, really good. I mean, there's so many. You could sit here and name drop a bunch.
That's right.
You know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 20 different bands which are all amazing. All coming out of Derry, especially.
And singer, songwriters, and pianists, particularly. I mean, I can think of about 5 or 6 off the top of my head. Like, really, these aren't just people who dabble. These are people with real talent. You know, people like yourself. I mean, I have to say, the first time I ever heard, I couldn't believe the stuff that you were recording. You know, I couldn't believe it.
Thanks very much.
To be honest. And tell me about your band. Is this your permanent band?
Well,
I know one of them.
Nevis McGowan.
This young lady used to be my next door neighbour.
Neve. Well, yeah, we have the pleasure of having Neve come up from Dublin. She has a gig after this as well. We're not that special, but she's on violin, and we also have a cellist which sometimes plays too. But she has another gig in Dublin too.
But Neve is not just a person who lifts a violin.
No,
she's a trained classical violinist.
She's fantastic. She studied in the Royal Northern in Manchester, was it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she's been doing many fantastic things since.
I know.
And we're very lucky to have her.
I know. I'm surprised to see her along with you at all.
Thanks. And on backing vocals here we have Shane, who's also, I mean, backing vocals in itself is an instrument. If anyone ever doubts having an extra person who doesn't do anything but sing backing vocals, well, you should listen to Shane, because he's an instrument in himself, you know.
Okay.
And Liam Craig on bass,
hi, Liam.
Who's also a lecturer, a very young lecturer, I might add. What age are you? 24, so he hangs about with the students, you know. So they all love him. That's down in the Tech in Derry.
Well, you guys are obviously cannot be a permanent unit. I mean, you can't travel and go on tours because you all do different things, can you?
Well, I mean, it's open to question, because if something exciting came along, we would all have to really think about what we might do, and decide whether it would be worth it, or whether it would be worth me going on my own, or maybe bringing Shane or a smaller group or something, or if Liam can get time out of work, then it really depends how serious it becomes. I plan for it to become very serious. I can tell you, I'm trying to make it a career choice.
Well, I think it's only a matter of time for you.
Thanks very much.
No, really. No, I don't say that lightly. It's only a matter of time for you. Well, do you want to do something, or maybe tell us what you're going to do? Do whatever you like.
Absolutely. Well, we'll play 3 or 4, depending on how long we get, what we might get through. But there was the first track that I ever gave you was the Barbara EP.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And you played away at that. Unfortunately, you really loved the guitar solo. I remember hearing. I listen to your show all the time, by the way.
God bless you.
I think you're hilarious. And
Thank you.
You're the best.
Oh, stop.
You are. And you really like the guitar solo, but he's not here. He's not here
It's all right.
today.
We'll have to live
so
without
we'll
him.
just have to do it without
We can
him.
live without him.
Unfortunately. So just make sure we're all ready to go. So
Okay.
this is called Barbara, and this is off the Barbara EP.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna be a love song, Barbara. This ain't gonna be the one for you. This is gonna be the one for LA. Don't waste time thinking rhyme and reason. Don't waste time looking for a clue. This love song's gonna drive you insane. 'Cause you come funny for a boy in the harbor bar. sipping on a drink, get it out in his car. This ain't gonna be your love song, Barbara. This ain't gonna be the one for you. This is gonna be the one for Elaine. Don't waste time thinking rhyme and reason. Don't waste time looking for a clue. This love song's gonna drive you insane. 'Cause you come funny for a boy in the harbor bar, sipping on a drink, get it on in his car. You come funny for a boy in the harbor bar, sipping on a drink, get it on in his car. You're a delinquent and you'll never go far, sipping on a drink, get it on in his car. You're a delinquent and you'll never go far. You've been hanging around with all the boys in the neighborhood, and now it seems you're all alone, living in shame. You've been given a lonely sentence accurately, and now I'll wait for you on the outside. Couple of years till the stigma clears. This ain't gonna be your love song, Barbara. This ain't gonna be the one for you. This is gonna be the one for Elaine. Don't waste time thinking rhyme and reason. Don't waste time looking for a clue. This love song's gonna drive you insane. 'Cause you come funny for a boy in the harbor bar, sipping on a drink, get it on in his car. You come funny for a boy in the harbor bar, sipping on a drink, get it on in his car. You're a delinquent and you'll never go far, sipping on a drink, get it on in his car. You're a delinquent and you'll never go far.
That's great. I see what you mean about the backing vocal.
That's great, isn't it?
Yeah, that's great. It's really, really mixed now. That's a very, very intricate song. That's really, really different. That doesn't sound like anything else I've ever heard. You know, that's what possibly you've got going for you. You don't sound like anybody else. That doesn't. If I was to ask, if someone just asked me what you vaguely sounded like, I would have to say something like maybe something silly like Kate Bush. You know what I mean? Like that kind of intricacy.
Yeah.
And I've read you compared to Neil Hannon. I don't think that's fair because I don't like Neil Hannon. You know, no, I don't. I just think he's boring. You know, but you're not like that. You know, no, I don't think you should compare to Neil Hannon. That's me joins the Neil Hannon fan club right away. Support your own lads. No, I can't do that.
No, I like a lot of stuff that Neil Hannon's done.
I'm sure you do. I'm
I wouldn't massively be a huge fan, but I do like.
You would listen to some of it, but you wouldn't rush out. I wouldn't rush out to buy a CD. Let's put it that way. So that's him dealt with.
Shoved in the corner.
Now, what about Duke Special? I mean, there's a whole kind of different thing going on there as well, isn't there?
I think
I shouldn't be asking you about other people.
Well, Duke Special is very different, I think, from what I'm doing. I don't think it's. I mean, there's pop in there too, but it's not really dealt with. I don't think in the same way. And he seems to be making another comeback, or I think he's been off doing other things from what I hear.
It always struck me as being very kind of music hall. I don't know.
I certainly think he is. You know.
And what he used to use all the props and everything at the early days. Anyway, never mind that. What's your background? A musical background?
Yep. I mean, I studied music in school. I learned piano from the age of 7 or so. Clarinet, did all my grades in that. Did GCSE music, A-level music. Went off and did started a music degree in Queen's, and it just never went done. I honestly, I think I possibly saw the inside of those doors 3 or 4 times in,
what was wrong with
2 years.
What was wrong with you? Were you drinking or what?
I partying and just not going. And it was part of the reason is insane actually, because I had a car. I was lucky enough to have a car because I was teaching. I was teaching at the time and to pay that, and I used to drive to Queen's, which was only 100 meters from where I was living. So I would end up parking further than what I lived. I mean, I was parking so far, and then I thought, no, I'm too far now, I may as well just go home, because it doesn't make any sense that I would park further than where I live. So that was part of the reason.
Well, it's kind of unusual. I mean, you weren't a diligent student then.
No, I wasn't.
But why was that? Because you were so interested in music? Why was it because it was formal, or what was it?
I don't really take that well to rules and authority, and I could be quite arrogant or sounding arrogant in some of that, and some teachers have said that in the past.
You're not.
But
it can't be managed.
I don't know. I just wanted to write stuff, and I wanted to get out playing, and sometimes I just thought some of the stuff was a wee bit boring, but I'm sure it's not, and I'm sure people have gone on and finished the degree and loved it and got
Phil
jobs.
Coulter did.
Well, there you go. He's great company to be in himself.
He's a friend of mine. How dare you?
I wish he was a friend of mine.
Anyway, would you do another one for us?
We will.
Because we're sitting here yapping away.
What'll we do? Let's see.
Anything at all.
Do you want to do the bridge, maybe? Well, I'll explain a wee bit about this one. This is
Why didn't you get Neve to do the guitar solo in that last one?
We were saying that because this keyboard's dodgy and the lead keeps going off, and I was asking her if she could play chords. Go and play a chord. What do you hear? This is amazing. Like, that's class.
That's all right.
We just have to find somewhere to put it. in the bin, in the Bugs Roadrunner or something. So this song called The Bridge was inspired by a documentary that I'd seen called The Bridge, and I think it was Eric Steele. Was the director. I say that all the time at gigs, and I never go and check it out.
Nobody
it's terrible.
cares,
I know. Well, so it basically showed people jumping off the San Francisco Bridge, and it was all quite. I mean, it's quite dramatic and heartbreaking and all that. And you saw a backstory of why they did it and all that stuff, and the family that missed them and all that. So that inspired me to write this. And this is written from the perspective of somebody up there, so it's different from it's very different from Barbara, you know. So we can get back to the happy mood after it, but sure, enjoy this.
Go ahead.
160 feet for me to fall, plenty of airtime for me to thank you all. This bridge is kinda lonesome, this bridge is getting lonesome. Watch the boats as they sail on by, unaware that above I cry. This bridge is getting lonesome, this bridge is getting low. Bella Rosa, Bella Rosa, Bella Rosa, Bella Rosa. Carelessly slipping off my shoe, watch it fall as I hope I'll do. This bridge is getting lonesome, this bridge is getting low. Bella Rosa, Bella Rosa, Bella Rosa, Bella Rosa. 160 feet for me to fall, plenty of airtime for me to thank you all. This bridge is getting lonesome, this bridge is getting lonesome. Watch the boats as they sail on by, unaware that above I cry. This bridge is getting lonesome, this bridge is getting low. Bella Rosa, Bella Rosa, Bella Rosa, Bella Rosa.
It's really beautiful. That's great. It's very symphonic, or I don't know what it is. That's really great. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Now tell me, have you got a website? Can people access your music? How can they do that?
They can. Well, the website at the minute is a uk.co.uk one, and it's bestboygrip.co.uk. Primarily I deal with people on Facebook, to be honest. So it's facebook.com/bestboygrip.
Okay.
That's GRIP. I keep saying this to people, like especially younger people, and they say, "Best Boy Grip." why would you call yourself that? That sounds crap.
I want to
But
guess.
it's-
I want to guess. Now, now, the origin of the name. Now, isn't best boy grip two terms, two film terms? A best boy is a guy who's got a particular role in a film, and a grip is he the electrician or something like that?
Yeah, I think
Is
it's
that how
a,
it works?
I think it's a match of both of those. You've got the best boy gripper, and there's a key gripper
What
as
is the
well.
best?
I
No,
think.
what does the best boy do?
I think he does the lights. I think it's the boy that starts out, that hangs all the stuff. Look, see these lights in the studio here? I think
Yeah.
it's a best boy comes in and does that. I think he's a
Kerry's
runner.
our best boy. Well, best boy. These are old terms that were originated in the early days of the films. Like Foley artist.
Yeah.
Foley artist is the guy who puts in the sound effects of people walking along.
Aye.
And they called him that because there was a place called Foley Street in London where they used to do that. So
Right.
they became Foley artists. And best boy grip is the same. What's a grip? An electrician? Don't tell me you don't know.
I think a grip is. I just saw it at the end of films and always thought it looked like an amazing job to have. And then I found out what it was, and I was like, it's not that good. Why would they call him the best boy at it? I thought he just gripped things really well.
But that is isn't that two separate things? Best boy and grip.
I think you can be a best boy grip, which is a.
No, you can't. You can be a
All
best
right.
boy or a grip.
All right. Well, I'll change the name to best boy or a grip.
The best job in TV. If ever you go to a live TV studio, and don't go to Nolan's show, or you'll be depressed for a week. If you ever go in there, there's a guy that walks around and holds the cables.
Aye.
That's the job I want.
I've seen that guy.
He just holds the cables.
He's probably cable grip. Or maybe he's probably cable guy. Maybe he's just cable guy.
People are sitting at home saying, what are these people talking about? What's going on here? Do something else for us, please.
Right. We'll bring Neve back in here. We'll do.
Even hasn't played a note in anger yet.
Lazy. No, we'll do one called Monster and Me. This is off the Barbara EP. So if you go onto that Facebook page, you'll find a link to all of that, and click like on it as well. It's nice to see new people joining up, and they keep in touch with what's going on and all that stuff. So this is called Monster and Me. Featuring.
What's? I love
featuring
this.
Niamh McGowan.
Sorry.
Monster and Me. You're in love with him, he's got money, I ain't got none, but I'm funny, I won't make you cry in the rain. You're in love with him, he's good looking, he stands naked as he's cooking white powdered medicine for his pain, and I guess I'll take a blame for it all. Never should have left you alone. He fought 45 men in a war, and I can't remember the last time I swore, but I'd fight for you if you'd let me. You're in love with him, I ain't bitter. He broke Angel when he hit her. He's bad company, that's for sure. And I guess I'll take a blame for it all. Never should have left them alone. He'll come home and he'll kick down your door, and he'll abuse you, he called you his whore, and I'd mess him up if you'd let me. You're in love with him, fact stays with me, eats my heart out, lost my empathy, earth, wind, fire, and the monster in me. And I guess I'll take a blame for it all. Never should have left you alone. You're in love with him, you're in love with him, you're in love with him,
that's just great. That's
you.
great. Nice violin from Niamh McGrath. Lovely.
Beautiful, yeah.
Very nifty.
She's on the record as well.
Oh, are you really?
She came up to the house and recorded it one night.
Okay, now you can buy your physical CD, can't you? I mean,
do you know what? I haven't even got one made yet. No, you can buy it in the digital world. You can download it. But a couple of gigs coming up, so I'm going to put some money towards pressing some CDs up because people are asking for them at gigs, and it's terrible not having them. They sell them. It's quite unprofessional.
It is all right, but at the same time, people don't think primarily in terms of CDs now, do they? I mean, people like yourself who are in the business, the cutting edge of it, but all the people who are older, that's the first thing they think of, and they probably think it's unusual that you don't have a physical CD.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of people are arguing for it, especially in Derry. I have a few friends in particular who are arguing that the physical copy should come back again because sometimes it's, a hard drive might go down or something and you lose your tracks then and then you have to go and find them again, whereas the CD is always there.
Well, that's that whole thing about tangible ownership, you know what I mean, about having a thing, whereas, something that's in the air, it's not yours.
Yeah.
Although you may rent it, you may buy it, you may have access to it, but you can't feel it and hold it and look at it. It's a weird thing, but people will have to get over that, won't they? Because it's going to be the thing of the future. People won't actually have anything that they can hold in their hands. They won't.
Yeah, well, I recently saw that. Do you know that John Peel's radio or his Shed thing? So he's got every. Well, they're putting all his albums online,
I know.
So it's kind of ironic in some sense that they're all been made digital when he hoarded them all or kept them all.
I know.
Or made that amazing collection. But I would like to certainly have a physical copy. I do like the idea of vinyl and having a nice big, something to read when you're listening to the song as well. So I'm going to have to get on it. I'll do it quite soon, I think.
It's almost like that Kindle thing, whereby people are talking about books, and I think music is kind of like that. But the way I would use Kindle, if I want a book that I want to keep, I want to look at it and read it again, I buy it. But if I just want to buy something that I just read once, you get it on Kindle. I think the same thing might happen with music.
Yeah.
You get disposable pop, and then there's stuff that you want to keep. You have that at home. Anyway, this is to be talking a little old shite.
Have you any? I meant to ask you. Have you any CDs or recordings of stuff that you were on before?
Oh no, that would mean that the BBC would have to be involved in that.
Right,
so they disown me on a regular basis. No. I've got.
Because you gigged as well, didn't you? You were in bands too, weren't you?
Yeah, I was a bass player for a long time. It's great because nobody bothers you. It's great. Nobody ever says, that's not quite right, try that again. And you get to look at the people. I used to spend the time looking to see who had the biggest nose in the audience, and who was the ugliest person.
Class.
Anyway, gigs. Now, do you do gigs?
Gigs, yeah.
Tell me, people might want to go and see after they hear this. I would say they would.
I hope they do. The next gig actually is tomorrow. It's in... Now let me find this. It's in a Presbyterian church in the Cathedral Arts Quarter. You'll find the details on the Facebook page.
You don't know where you are tomorrow.
Do you know what? I don't. There's a fella called Arthur who's running the gig. And
Arthur McGee?
Yes, that's the man. And he's going to kill me for not remembering the name of the venue. But I can tell you it's to do with... It's a fundraiser for... it's to do with slavery that's going on in Belfast, underground kind of stuff.
Yes, and Henry McCullough's on it as well.
That's right, and Henry's playing too.
And do you know who else is on?
Grania Holland is.
Grania, she's been in here.
And there's another fella doing some readings, I think. Raymond. I'm going to guess Raymond. Yes, Richie.
That's Arthur. If Arthur's listening, Arthur, would you please ring me before the end of this programme and tell me where he's playing?
Tell me.
Is it tomorrow?
It's tomorrow. I think the doors are at 6. Or no, actually, it might even be 5:30. Arthur, give us a buzz and tell us.
If I was you, I'd just shut up now. Right? Okay. Arthur, if you're listening, give me a ring. And let me know the details. I'll read them out for the end of this programme. Any other gigs that you want to talk about?
Yes, one more I should definitely say is the 17th of May, which is that Wednesday or Thursday next week? Thursday next week, and that's in the Menagerie. And that's there's a gang called Through the Wall who do a local station here, Blast 106, and another guy called Neil who set up a thing called Bands NI, and basically they're putting on their first showcase, and Best Boy Group is headlining that. So that's on the 17th. There are 2 other bands. Well, there's a guy called Chris Keys and a band called The Late Twos.
Okay.
So that would be a nice one. That'll be the full band. Tomorrow's going to be more like what you're hearing now. This kind of stripped back.
Do you have a
version.
drummer?
We do.
Like
Stephen.
Guitar player?
The guitar player's left us. He may return, but it was nice when he was here.
Oh, so He made a career move.
He moved out. No, it was all in good taste. You know, he's still friends, and
sorry, yeah.
You know, we miss him.
So you've a full band, you've a drummer and that kind of thing.
The drummer just wasn't here today. He runs his own wee company in Derry.
Okay, that's a menagerie next Thursday night.
Thursday night.
And somewhere here in the Presbyterian Church. Is it Rosemary? Does that Rosemary ring a bell?
That does ring a bell. It's somewhere apparently that's very difficult to get to by car. Because Arthur's told me that.
Arthur McGee, please ring me before 12 o'clock. It's been an absolute pleasure because this is real talent. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Best Boy Grip, Ian O'Callaghan, and
Shane.
Yes.
Shane McCall.
And Niamh.
Liam and Niamh.
And Niamh, nice to see you again, Niamh. You're lovely as ever. And what a wonderful violinist. Fantastic.
We're very lucky.
Absolutely. She wouldn't just play with anybody. I'll rephrase that. Do you want to do another?
We'll do one more if it's all right. Right.
Okay. Here, stop.
Woohoo.
Stop. Tomorrow.
It's dramatic.
5:20. First Presbyterian Church, Rosemary Street, Belfast. Best Boy Grip, Grania Holland, and Henry McCullum. 5:20. First Presbyterian Church, Rosemary Street, Belfast. There we go.
Perfect. Arthur will be glad you did that. I know I could have. Right.
All right, then. Thank you very much indeed, boys.
Thank you.
Gerald. Thank you.
Right, what are we doing here? This is called They've Come For My Head. Okay. This is going to be on a new EP. But sure, you haven't checked out the old EP, so...
Will you come in again when you have a release, will you?
Absolutely.
Please
I'd absolutely love to.
Because it's been great.
Thanks very much. So, They've Come For My Head. Log breaks, I fall down and laughter surrounds my eardrums. I'm the center of it all. But my heart's so broken, you threw it away. I thought they were joking, what a horrible price to pay. Oh, and I thank you for calling my name. I thank you, I ain't been the same since. Oh, look at the time that we wasted, eluding each other. Now they've come for my head to write a symphony. Have you played as they're laying me down? One thing that I forgot to offer, I'll offer you myself. But my heart's so broken, they threw it away. I thought they were joking, what a horrible price to pay. Oh, and I thank you for calling my name. I thank you, I ain't been the same since. Oh, look at the time that we wasted, eluding each other. Now they've come for my head to write a symphony. Have you played as they're laying me down? Log breaks, I fall down and laughter surrounds my eardrums. I'm the center of it all. But my heart's so broken, they threw it away. I thought they were joking, what a horrible price to pay. Oh, and I thank you for calling my name. I thank you, I ain't been the same since. Thank you for calling my name. And I thank you, I ain't been the same since. Thank you for calling my name. And I thank you, I ain't been the same since. Oh, I thank
I'd play the Red River Valley. He'd sit in the kitchen and cry, run his fingers through 70 years of living, and wonder, Lord, has every well I drilled gone dry? We were friends, me and this old man, desperados waiting for a train, like desperados waiting for a train. He's a drifter and a driller of oil wells, an old school man of the world. Taught me how to drive his car when he's too drunk to, and he'd wink and give me money for the girls. And our lives was like some old western movie, desperados waiting for a train, like desperados waiting for a train. From the time that I could walk, he'd take me with him to a bar called the Green Frog Cafe. And there were old men with beer guts and dominoes, lying about their lives while they played. I was just a kid, they all called me sidekick, desperados waiting for a train, like desperados waiting for a train. One day I looked up, he's pushing 80. There's brown tobacco stains all down his chin. And to me, he's one of the heroes of this country. Why is he all dressed up like them old men? Drinking beer, playing Moon at 42. Desperados waiting for a train, like desperados waiting for a train. The day before he died, I went to see him. I was grown and he was almost gone. So we closed our eyes and dreamed us up a kitchen and sang another verse to that old song. Come on, Jack, that son of a bitch is coming. Desperados waiting for a train, desperados waiting for a train, desperados waiting for a train, desperados waiting for a train.
That's another track from that album, which is called This One's For Him, a tribute to Guy Clark. That was, of course, Desperados, Waiting on a Train, Willie Nelson. Someone asked me about Willie Nelson before. Anyway, who's doing your show when you're away, Gerry? I hope it's not Sean Coyle. It is. Gerry Kelly will be here next week, and Sean Coyle will be here the week after that. So that's all catered for. And Gerry's going down to the Balmoral show. I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday. Gerry, will you please read this out about a concert that's happening in aid of Friends of the Cancer Unit? It's in memory of my son, whom I lost 3 years ago. It's on Monday, the 21st of May, in the Maharaboy Hotel, Portrush. Doors at 7 p.m. The show is at 7:45, featuring Tony Kerr, Eugene O'Doran, Kenny Archer, friend of ours in this programme, Jason Moorhead, Shauna McStravok, Daniel Cairns, and many more. And there's another little event they've asked me to mention. There's a special Teddy Bears picnic taking place tomorrow in the grounds of Belfast City Hall between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. as part of Love Metro Saturdays. That's to encourage people to go down into the city centre, bring your kids. It's a free event. Children are encouraged to bring their favourite teddy, enjoy some storytelling, and receive a free goodie bag. The event is open to anyone as part of TransLink's Love Metro Saturdays, where a £2 a day ticket, £1 a child, provides unlimited Saturday journeys across all Metro services after 9:30 a.m. during May and June. And we're talking to Best Boy Grip about the gig he's doing tomorrow afternoon in the First Presbyterian Church. On Arts Extra tonight, Henry McCullough and historian Raymond O'Regan will be talking about that gig, and it's an anti-slavery gig. I don't know what it's about, really. That's all I have here. I think it's they're talking about Belfast could have profited it in the 18th and 19th centuries. Apparently, there was an opportunity for Belfast to be a centre of the slave trade, and the burghers and the people in the council, whatever it was at that time, wouldn't have anything to do with it. So fair play to them. Gentleman writes to me, antidote to the Titanic. I was at a great traditional music session over the weekend in Kinvara. At 3 a.m. in the morning, sitting over wine, a singer from Armagh, Sean Mohan, sang a song which was from the perspective of a polar bear waiting for his family who were sailing in on the iceberg. Thank you very much for that. What a great day of music we've had today. Thank you to Paula Flynn and Best Boy Grip. It's one of the best. I've enjoyed myself today, I have to say. Great talent. I'll be back in 2 weeks' time. Goodbye.
My favorite picture of you is one where you're staring straight into the lens. It's just a Polaroid shot someone took on the spot. No beginning, no end. Just a moment in time, you can't have it back. You never left, but your bags were packed just in case. My favorite picture of you is bent and it's faded and it's pinned to my wall. You were so angry then, it's hard to believe we were lovers at all. There's a fire in your eyes, your heart's on your sleeve, a curse on your lips, but all I can see is beautiful. My favorite picture of you is one where your wings are showing. Your arms are crossed, your fists are clenched, gone but not going.